Over 100,000 likes poured in for the man convicted as a felon. There's absolutely nothing unattractive about this individual. He possesses such striking appearance that it's practically against the law. These days, he's gaining huge numbers of followers on Facebook. ABC's Cecilia Vega brings additional details about this remarkably handsome criminal. Have you come across it? This is the photograph that sparked a massive online phenomenon back in 2014. With piercing blue eyes, plump lips, and a chiseled jaw, the image isn't from a professional modeling session. Instead, it's a booking photo. The person in question, Jeremy Meeks, who had been found guilty of offenses, swiftly won over countless admirers through his attractive features. He earned the nickname of the attractive convict. His image gathered 15,000 likes along with 3,700 comments once authorities shared it online. Before long, he was offered multiple agreements for modeling work. That was a decade ago. Where has he ended up today? Stay tuned through the entire video to discover the answer. Music. Who exactly is Jeremy Meeks? He entered the world on February 7, 1984, in Tacoma, Washington, as the son of Catherine Angier and Raymond Meeks. This current American figure in fashion modeling and acting never pictured himself achieving widespread recognition. He grew up within a household filled with difficulties. During an appearance on the What's Your Water podcast, Jeremy portrayed his childhood as extremely bleak. He explained that both parents struggled with drug dependencies. When he was just 9 months old, his father carried out a grave offense by attacking the closest friend of his mother because that person alone knew their location, and he was searching for them. Consistent with his account, his mother fought severe drug dependency issues and even continued using while pregnant with him. His father received a 33-year prison term for ending the life of his spouse's companion and committing inappropriate actions with someone else. That sentence concluded with his release in 2017. Beyond the absence of a father figure, his mother encountered repeated legal problems, leading to multiple periods of imprisonment. As a result, Jeremy had to handle many of life's obstacles independently starting early on. He relied heavily on his elder sister Lyanna, who stepped in as his main guardian beginning when he turned 12. Difficulties quickly emerged for him. His older half-brother participated in armed thefts, while his half-sister dealt with charges related to stealing and violations involving vehicles. Living among relatives deeply involved in unlawful activities, Jeremy appeared headed toward a future without accomplishment. During his early years, he struggled with a condition affecting learning and frequently selected unwise paths. He couldn't envision achieving anything legitimate since no role models showed him otherwise. At age 15, he relocated from Washington State to the Los Angeles area, yet he rapidly became entangled in illegal behavior while surviving without stable housing. This move was an attempt to leave behind the impoverished environment of his youth. His teenage period revolved around participation in street gangs. How deeply did he become involved in criminal activities? Continue viewing to learn more. His criminal record began at age 15 when he ended up in a facility for young offenders due to the unlawful lifestyle he encountered outdoors. Not long after getting out, rival group members shot him 5 times and severely assaulted him. Patterns of illegal actions, physical harm, and connections to gangs defined that phase of his existence. Looking back on those experiences, he mentioned that time spent in youth detention forced him to become accustomed to aggressive situations. He possessed limited schooling and likely comprehended reading materials only at a 5th grade standard upon entering adult prison. Surprisingly, he later developed skills as an author. How did he acquire the ability to write? Stay with the video to hear about it. Nevertheless, his involvement in wrongdoing continued for quite some time. In 2002, when he reached 18, a major shift occurred in his path. Authorities accused him of stealing property through force and brutally attacking a teenager aged 16. He completed a 9-year term inside the notorious San Quentin State Prison, a high-security institution that holds many of California's most dangerous offenders. He openly acknowledged affiliation with the North Side Gangster Crips. This initiated an extended stretch of confinement totaling roughly 10.5 years overall. The effects of this confinement influenced Jeremy in profound manners he never anticipated. Following his discharge on June 18, 2014, Authorities detained him once more during a coordinated effort by various agencies called Operation Ceasefire, aimed at disrupting gang operations. On this occasion, records identified him as someone previously convicted, facing allegations of owning firearms and refusing to comply with officers. He rejected those accusations. That very day, the police force in the area uploaded several arrest photographs to their official Facebook account to showcase the successes in apprehending individuals linked to firearm violations. Among those images was the one of Jeremy Meeks. Officials never expected the reaction from viewers. What consequences arose from sharing those arrest photos? Keep watching as the story unfolds further. Jeremy had no idea that the booking image shared by law enforcement on social media would launch him into sudden prominence. The photo spread rapidly across the internet in the following day, earning 15,000 likes and 3,700 responses. His appealing blend of African American and Caucasian traits drew widespread fascination, particularly from female audiences captivated by how he looked. By June 19th, the next day, BuzzFeed's section for trending topics highlighted his arrest photo as an emerging trend. On June 20th, which was a Friday, supporters on Twitter started using the hashtag #FelonCrushFriday to celebrate his image. Officer Joe Silva, speaking for the Stockton Police, expressed surprise at how much notice this particular photo received compared to anything else since their page began in 2012. This surprising wave of interest attracted talent scouts from modeling firms, resulting in profitable deals that soon altered his circumstances dramatically. In a short span, Jeremy shifted from being known for legal troubles to becoming an international celebrity, featuring on numerous TV programs and adorning fronts of respected publications. Media outlets nicknamed him the hot convict amid the broad recognition he gained. While dealing with the spotlight, he remained in custody at the San Joaquin County facility awaiting court proceedings, with bail established at $150,000. His mother launched a crowdfunding campaign to collect funds for release, and his sister Lyanna intended to allocate donations towards securing legal representation. On February 5, 2015, a judge in federal court found him guilty on a single charge related to firearm possession by someone with prior convictions. Upon learning about Jeremy's prospects in modeling, the judge decided to shorten the penalty to 27 months instead of the planned 63. Additionally, the judge required enrollment in the 500-hour drug treatment initiative run by the Bureau of Prisons, which he finished successfully. He served his term at the federal facility in Mendota. Jeremy later expressed deep appreciation for the judge's choice, stating in his own terms that the only factor saving him, for which he remains eternally thankful, was the judge viewing him as an individual requiring help rather than merely a file. He admitted this openly. In reality, he completed just 13 months before release on March 8, 2016, followed by a short stay in a supervised residence program. During confinement, Jeremy started getting approximately 300 pieces of mail each day, often containing cash concealed within pages of books. Even from behind bars, he reported receiving 45 offers involving modeling, film roles, and representation deals. In a conversation with BuzzFeed, he shared that he had never encountered a formal agreement previously, comparing it to deciphering a foreign language and finding it intensely daunting. With numerous possibilities ahead, how did things unfold for him once free? Continue watching for the details. After prison, Jeremy maintained optimism for improved circumstances despite the hardships endured inside. But was modeling the sole opportunity awaiting him? Did romance ever enter his picture? Those aspects come up soon. First, consider his path in modeling. Right after leaving custody, he promptly agreed to his initial deal with the agency White Cross Management, as verified by talent manager and photographer Jim Jordan. His popularity soared rapidly, establishing him as one of the most in-demand male figures in fashion globally. The change proved astonishing, bringing recognition, financial gain, and achievements. By 2017, he walked his first catwalks at major gatherings such as Milan Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, and the Cannes Film Festival. He also participated in Tommy Hilfiger's presentation for Spring 2018 in Milan. Going from recruitment, while incarcerated, to a career on runways stands as one of the most uncommon entries into fashion, possibly the only instance. Though time in prison might appear as an obstacle to such work, it proved otherwise for him. His discovery represents an outlier among the odd locations where talents emerge. For comparison, Kate Moss, the iconic British model from the 1990s onward, was spotted at age 14 by Sarah Doukas, head of store model management, while at New York's JFK Airport. Doukas also found Victoria's Secret model Bahati Prinsloo during a trip in Cape Town, South Africa. Candace Swanepoel was noticed at a flea market alongside her mom, and Claudia Schiffer was approached in a German nightclub in Dusseldorf. Beyond unusual spots, individuals without prior fashion experience have secured prominent positions. Consider Conchita Wurst, the drag performer who won Eurovision in 2014 and later walked for Jean-Paul Gaultier's Haute Couture line, plus a shoot in CR fashion book photographed by Karl Lagerfeld. Jeremy fits as another distinctive case. He appeared on fronts of many prestigious publications and led key promotional efforts. Modeling wasn't his only pursuit as he ventured into performing. To date, he has acted in 5 films, starting with his debut in the 2020 BET Plus production Trigger. Subsequent works include Secret Society, Dance for Me, Unfair Exchange, and others. When questioned about motivation for portraying Craze in a Dutch production, he revealed reading the full trilogy while locked up, entering with roughly 6th grade reading skills, but teaching himself through all of Terry Wood's novels. That's the context for developing his reading abilities in later incarceration. In a discussion with Hip Hollywood, he was asked whether modeling was a goal or something that came to him. He replied enjoying pursuits that test him, noting modeling lacks difficulty for him personally. Instead, embodying varied characters on screen provides real challenge, suggesting he's discovered true calling there. Contemplating his progress, Jeremy voiced amazement and thanks for worldwide notice based on looks. He shared thoughts on divine timing, saying higher powers waited until he reached mental readiness to accept this gift, warning that poor choices could erase it quickly. He stressed feeling fortunate and appreciative for the chances received. In comments to regional press then, he mentioned being positioned to support his loved ones and truly transform existence, never expecting global identification via appearance, thus considering himself highly favored. Regarding relatives, how did he build his own? Stay tuned for that part. In his private world, Jeremy additionally embraced being a spouse and parent alongside professional roles. His wife, Melissa Meeks, stood by him during the rise in modeling. Their connection started well prior to notoriety, back when gangs dominated his days. They exchanged vows in 2008. Together, they welcomed son Jeremy Jr., and he took on stepfather duties for her 2 kids from an earlier union, 1 boy and 1 girl. As a unit, they nurtured the youngsters. Melissa looked past previous mistakes and developed genuine affection, remaining loyal through hardships. Still, their bond encountered a major test as growing celebrity attracted complications. In 2017, photographers documented Jeremy sharing intimate time aboard a yacht with Chloe Green, child of UK tycoon Philip Green. This discovery devastated Melissa, who found the breach of faith hard to process. They finalized separation in 2018. That year also brought a new child when Chloe delivered son Jeremy Meeks Green. Regrettably, their partnership dissolved after another year in 2019. Differences in backgrounds likely proved insurmountable, with his difficult history contrasting her privileged upbringing. During 2020 to 2021, Jeremy mentioned being completely unattached yet patient, prioritizing concentration on career. He described maintaining strong ties with Chloe as parent to their toddler and solid cooperative parenting with the mom of his eldest boy, praising both women as outstanding and effective in child-rearing collaboration. Relatives motivate his efforts toward societal good. On being a dad, he shares desires for greater outcomes for himself and offspring, aiming to end patterns of incarceration running through generations since many kin face the justice system. He vows never to risk this opportunity, finding satisfaction in positive actions his children admire. He adds that amid turmoil, they've provided calm and direction, fueling his ambitions to shatter inherited struggles and build lasting success. Lately, Jeremy prefers privacy in personal matters yet posts glimpses online showing strong bonds with kids despite parted ways with their moms. For relaxation, he now bases himself in Monte Carlo, Monaco, appreciating tight restrictions on media intrusion. What's his current focus? Don't stop here, keep going. At age 40 today, Jeremy Meeks has established himself firmly as a successful model and performer. He turned a fleeting online trend into sustained achievement. Currently, he promotes a pair of upcoming films while advocating for young people in foster systems and those held in youth facilities. In Hip Hollywood Talks, he wished for a mentor figure during tough times. On What's Your Water, he expressed interest in producing tracks that connect with youngsters from similar rough starts. He reflected on past influences, making him aggressive through certain songs, understanding music's power over youth, and committing never to glorify gangs, harm, or heavy drugs. Any future work would carry uplifting themes without negativity. He appreciates prison downtime for reflection as fame grew, admitting fear throughout, reminding himself quick gains could vanish via bad choices. He credits advisors for guidance on money matters and adapting to change. Describing the shift from street life to sets as overwhelming and tough to acclimate, he calls it an intense journey filled with thanks. Sources estimate his net worth near $5 million, with residence in an opulent home, a sports vehicle valued at $150,000, time aboard the $130 million yacht Lionheart, and mingling in formal attire with nobility at Prince Albert II's Monte Carlo event supporting oceans. Photographers now follow him regularly. This individual's path has evolved remarkably. What lies ahead for him? Let's explore. Jeremy stated he's at a stage of great openness, eager to share the complete narrative, hoping others relate and grasp his arrival at current success. In words to People magazine, he announced plans for memoirs detailing the unusual trajectory. The book launches September 3, 2024, with him noting surreal excitement over releasing his life account. Beyond covering the 2015 guilty verdict and post-2016 freedom, it delves into roots involving frequent moves across regions in youth, impoverished teen years tied to gangs. The raw telling covers fights against street violence, racial issues, and pivotal shifts altering everything. Descriptions mention inclusion of 46 images, among them 24 full-color modeling shots by noted photographer Jim Jordan. Soon available for purchase, it provides in-depth insight into his gripping experiences. On challenges of summarizing, he argued a short movie couldn't capture it, proposing instead a series format where he wouldn't star as himself. Reviewing the arc, he calls it intense, from rough neighborhoods to professional photography, difficult to adapt yet treasured. He hopes the account reaches those needing inspiration, addressing hidden truths that sting yet finally reveal authenticity. Jeremy Meeks' experiences illustrate that anyone, regardless of difficult history, can redirect toward better outcomes. Errors needn't permanently label someone. Redemption and progress remain possible at any point by reflecting, repairing, and advancing positively. What's your view on his remarkable change? Share opinions in comments below. If this content resonated, please like and follow the channel for updates on fresh releases. Thanks for viewing. Explore additional videos we offer.